very frustrating. I don't care. It's going to be fun. I'm hyped. I enjoy when you guys come and visit me. It's always fun. I'm looking forward to my visit too. Mostly because New Brunswick sucks.
So while Tom is currently looking in the other direction,
Yeah.
you're live.
Cool. Hi, everybody. Sweet. I don't care. They know I'm live. It's Facebook. How's it going, everyone? It's going to be fun tonight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not used to having anyone here when he does this, so mind me, right? Thank you, Bradley. How's everyone going tonight?
Good.
Very good.
Doing
Very
well.
nice to have you. I'm so excited. This is so wonderful. Just mostly because I have company and it's get kind of quiet in my little basement. Bradley eventually will show up here. Oh, he's pulling the mic. You can see him pulling it now. It's okay. Soon we'll be live on beautiful 97.9 CHSR in Fredericton. He's rolling his hands. He's making gestures. Roll fingers. What are you doing? I don't care. We do have some wonderful sponsors that we do love, like Moncton Paintball, my home, my love. We're hoping to get some fantastic people to come out and visit us, just to come and visit, because it's got the coolest little town. So I want to get the Mag Boys out there and play some Mag Fed in our town. It's the King's Forest. It's just a nice little place. I want to go play paintball. I want to come and visit you guys. It's such a happy place at NME.
Hell yeah.
Hat. I wore my hat. I got my blue one. I was wearing my blue one today. I wore my black one, my white one the other day to work, just because screw it. It's a good comfy sweater to work. Our warehouse is so cold.
Love it.
Still nothing. My goodness. Radio time is so expensive these days. Terrible. He's still yes, whatever. Where's the boss lady anyways? She's coming to visit us tonight?
No, she's shy. She's maybe 15 feet away.
Watching. I demand visits.
She's watching.
Yeah.
She doesn't
if I had to be on here, Mel's got to come on too.
I try, guys. I try every time.
I'm going to start Marina on.
I don't.
She knows how we feel
shy,
now.
but she says she is. And
hold on,
you know what?
I've got a solution to this problem here.
Pick your battle, kind of thing.
That's the fun part about being me, is I get to pick all these battles because, well, I don't live with her. There we go. We'll send that to Mel. She's still not going to come on, but it'll make me happy just to do it.
She might. Maybe you can get her to call in.
We can do that because, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, episode 431 of the Maritime Paintball Podcast, coming to you live at 97.9 FM, CHSR, as well as live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I was going to do Instagram, but it was a pain in the butt, so I didn't do it. So
that's all right.
I'm excited to be here. Are you excited to be here?
Thrilled.
Absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have much more professional mic setups than we do, I see.
I have the most professional mic setup because I somehow got handed a radio station.
He is a professional.
I still love that people are like, how'd you get on the radio? I'm like, I asked for a studio, and they're like, you want a show? I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
I'm still
have all this
blown away
stuff.
by that
It's,
every week, and I'm always happy.
Yeah, every week. It's
97.9 CHSR in Fredericton lets us on to their station to talk about paintball once a week.
Yeah,
For as far as I know, we are still the only radio show dedicated to the most amazing sport that is paintball.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's dope.
Yeah. So let's get roll call. So let's start. Let's everybody introduce yourselves. You know who you are, why you're here. Start with Dan.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
I'm Dan Weber. I'm one of the directors of the Enemy Paintball Club up in Kirkfield, Ontario. Been around for a couple of years now. Kind of new to this scene, but if you play ball in Ontario, you probably know who we are. So
it is.
And I'm Brett Robinson. I'm the speedball manager for Soldiers of Fortune Paintball in Hamilton here, and I run the Toronto Chargers tournament team as well.
Cool. That's awesome.
I am Marie, and I own a paintball field in Ontario, Newcastle Outback Paintball, and I'm also a player on the Northern Lights.
Woo!
Woo!
Love it.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Brad doesn't tell me who's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
He really doesn't until like the night before, and he's just like, oh, by the way, or the night before, like, oh, by the way, looks like someone shared a post. Oh yeah, by the way, there's this is who's on the show tonight. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
great.
So
I get to hang out
we're
with
very
neat
excited.
people.
Very excited to have everybody on, and we're going to be chatting about the 3v3 Gunfighter Series. So I can't wait to get into that. Before we get into that, though, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping. Two things. One, we are relaunching our Patreon. I've included the link in the show description. So if you feel like supporting the show, if not, that's fine. Feel free, head over there, and you can you basically throw us a couple of dollars, as well as the Discord link. If you want to, hang out with us outside of this 1 hour a week, I'm not sure why you would, but some people seem to. Feel free to jump into our Discord. I
was just saying, I get lonely. Like, I'm here by myself in this
he
chair.
does, and he texts me like the saddest things, and I was like, man, I gotta find him a friend.
I wish they'd let me post pictures, because I would take a picture of my cat right here, who is looking really sad because he just wants attention, but he's too dumb to know how to jump up on the chair. He'll figure it out eventually.
So that's my housekeeping. We got Cliff in the chat. I could see Trent Flowers there.
Hey guys.
Explore Paintball, as always. It never misses a show. Stephen Bartholomew. I've never seen that name spelled out before. And
you probably met Steve at NMA. You probably met him.
Oh yeah. No, I definitely did.
I
don't think I've ever seen the name Bartholomew ever spelled out before. And then we got Aaron Scott as well. I can see you saying, "Ooh, look at that sexy lights lady." That's a quote, by the way. So yeah, let's get into this. Let's talk. Let's find out more about this Gunfighter series. What do you guys got planned?
Who wants to take the lead on this?
Yeah, you're good, Dan.
Okay, so yeah, we in the past 2 years we've held tournaments at Enemy. We started with a 2-on-2, and then we've done 3-on-3 street ball, and we've done some jousts, and the players have really liked the 3-on-3 format. So we wanted to expand on it, and we wanted to collaborate with other fields. Mel wanted to show the community that the sport's doing well, the sport's strong, and by collaborating with other local fields, it kind of sends that message to the community that paintball's alive and well. Like the fields are doing well. It's a good sport, and by showing them that and being able to throw a 3-on-3 that's well priced, that has good prizes, it's just good for the community. Like really, that's kind of what this tournament series is about. It's about giving back to the players.
Love that. That's awesome, man. Like that's wicked. There's nothing wrong with 3v3. I enjoy a good 3v3 from time to time. 5-man's great, 7-man's fun, but every once in a while, I don't. I mean,
back in the day, that's 3-on-3 was a lot of people's first tournament. My first tournament was 3-on-3.
Right? Yeah, same with me here.
I think mine was 4. I think it was 4v4. We did street ball, but I think that's just the way the teams like fell, kind of because it was like a pickup league, right? So
we've done 3v3, 4v4. We did the joust at Enemy, which was that was an absolute blast. And then we played that night game. How many were playing the night game?
I wanted to play the night game so bad, but I ate too much barbecue and I felt sick.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh, that was just kind of like open play though,
because there was many people. I remember taking off and there being a lot of dudes on that field, and I'm like, there's so many people, and I couldn't see anything. It was my own fault, but
yeah, Nightball was good. A lot of people didn't bring like we told everybody to bring clear lenses.
You did. I brought clear lenses, but I didn't bring good clear lenses. It was my own. It was, again, I should have known better. I won't make that mistake this time. But oh my god, 3v3 is just the sweet spot where it can be swapped up easy. It can go 2v1 very quick, maybe 3v1 very quick, and just be switched. That's the perfect tight ball.
Yeah, you can bang those games out too, right? You can get those rounds in, like bang, bang, bang. Like you get a lot more ball in there.
The pace, right? the pace of the tournament does go a good bit quicker.
Awesome,
with 3-man, that's for sure.
Love that. Speaking. Sorry, another piece of housekeeping. Just if anybody has any stories, comments, questions, if you're listening and you're like, I have a question, you can call us. We do have a call-in number. You can call us 1-506-453-4979. You can call us and we'll put you on the radio. And I'm pretty sure I can have 4 people on the air at the same time. So let's test it. But you got to be good. I don't want any swears. Basically, never mind. I was going to say, don't say nothing you wouldn't say to your grandparents, but I was raised in the country, so
you got to be careful, Brad, because you tell players that they're going to call in and they hear this and they're like, "Oh, this is a challenge."
They take it as a challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's how you get your call dropped. And
there is literally a button labeled "drop." That all you do is click it and it drops the call.
You want to try it out?
I see Cliff said there that at DMZ they did 3-on-3 with names drawn. That's the street ball format, which that's what we did at Enemy. But this tournament is not a street ball format. You actually register your own team.
You register a proper 3v3.
Yeah. So you get your roster together and you register
either it's sometimes you like 5v5 or 7-7. It's just like how do you find all those players? But 3v3, everybody's got two buddies.
Yeah, so true. It's easy to find a team,
right? You just call them up and be like, "Yo, like we're doing a 3v3," and they're like, "Sorry, Tom already got me on his team." Like, no.
Yeah, it's hard. It's not hard to throw two buddies in a car and go to and drive and split a 3-man. That's
right.
That math works well.
Money's tight. If money's tight, man, 3 people could fit in a hotel room. Right.
Yeah, I used to sleep in my car back in the day.
See, I can't do late that, 90s, man. My legs cramp.
Late 90s, I was sleeping in the back of my station wagon at tournaments.
Oh, okay.
I've slept in my truck more than once. Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
I was a broke little kid.
Is that Mel?
I don't. No, it's not. She's not on the phone.
It's not Mel. Okay.
Not that you know of.
Who is it?
Hello, you're on the air. What's your name?
Ahoy, hoy.
Hello.
On Mischievous.
Oh, there she is.
And I'm wondering, because I want to put a team, we want to put a team together, but we're beginners and we're very nervous to basically play against people that will rock us. So I was just wanting advice for that. Like, is there any teams that are D6?
Is there any teams that are D6?
Right, where, we can embrace each other.
So mine and Tom's level is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Cool. Who wants to take that one?
Beer league. Who can help us with that?
They can hear you talk.
We have a beginner league. We have a beginner division for this.
Oh, okay.
News to somebody who's silly and did not know this. Continue, please. More.
So we have a space for you guys. Yeah, we have a beginner.
Amazing.
Yay. I'm not even making fun. I'm quite serious. That's the division I should be playing in.
Don't worry, I'm not offended.
That's awesome. Sounds so cool.
Yeah, I think
so there is definitely a beginners league where we can just work our ways up and we won't get basically handed to.
God, that sounds awesome. That sounds like a happy place that I would love to go play ball.
Yeah, so we do have I guess restrictions on who can play in what divisions, and
Oh, okay. Oh, wait.
Brett,
so
you might have the info on
D3 will not be playing with D6 members. Or
no. You're not going to be facing D3 players.
That's correct. So technically, there's going to be 3 different divisions. There'll be a beginner division, which would be D5, D6, a young guns division, which would be below that, which would be anyone under 16 years old, and then the open division, which would allow up to 1 pro player per team, but they would not be participating with anyone who is D5 or D6 ranked.
Unless they want to.
Okay.
You can play up.
Technically
a
D5 or D6 player could play open, but they're not going to be forced to.
You can play up, but you can't. You can punch up, not down.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Cool. That's fair. I like that.
You've got I like that. You got to split it up so that it's everyone's got that challenge, but not so much of a challenge that you're just getting stomped all day.
No,
we don't want to get stomped. We want to learn from our experiences.
And then there will be prize packages for all 3 divisions. Both the open and beginner divisions will be getting markers for all 3 players on the team. And then the Young Guns division is going to receive free entry to all 3 of our fields, as well as with Sega Paintball for all of 2026 season. So if you were to win the Young Guns division, you can essentially play paintball for the entire next season for free.
All right.
Well, in terms of practice.
So do we have to be under 16, or can we just have the mentality of
under 16? But technically, you could get second place in the other divisions, and that's the prize for those divisions as well. But the markers are worth more.
Okay, good question. Now, I'm not 16.
That's wild. That is awesome.
You
I
don't
love
know
that
that.
so much.
I might look like 15 for my height, but I'm not. So I can't say in that one.
Oh, so then you've already got an advantage on the field. You don't even have to like kneel as much. You can
Yeah,
just...
I'm just like a straight midget. I'm the snake player.
Just walks behind the
That's
snake,
Mercy,
fully
yeah,
standing
yeah.
upright.
I'm like 4'11".
Just
You can
off
barely
the
see
break,
me.
already
It's like
behind.
anyone.
Yeah.
Love that.
She is the
That's
tiny
amazing.
little girl. Itty bitty.
But it's nice to know I could probably qualify for a 16-year-old. So maybe I'll try that.
There.
It didn't occur to us that
like,
we were going to have to check IDs, but we might.
Yep.
I
We will
probably
now
could
be now carding.
We had the
I-
opposite problem when I played rugby. We had to check one in high school. We had to check a dude's ID because the man had a receding hairline and was like 6.5 feet tall. Like my
That's
coach was
terrible.
like, that man is in his 30s.
Grown
Way
man.
with playing with a
Oh,
midget
yes.
type, but not when you're tall and looking like you're 27. You're actually
Yeah.
15. That's bad.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
I've seen that too.
So-
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you have any
Oh,
other
man.
questions for them?
No, that was basically the main question. I just really wanted to, again, this is new for me. I kind of fell into the love of paintball, especially after hearing Mel and Dan speaking of it.
Mhm.
And I just really wanted to get down to what is what and how it's played out. But yes, you guys definitely answered my question. And it's good to know that I'm not facing a person like Wes.
Nobody wants to
That's
face Wes.
correct.
Yeah, no, I did, and it was scary.
Yeah.
I know the Rizzardo brothers are both trying to play, and I told them specifically that they would have to play on different teams, even if they wanted to play. They're both going to be playing for the Sea Dogs Pro team this year, and they're both trying to win the guns, but I told them that it wouldn't be unfair for them to play on the same team. So
Okay, all right.
Nice.
So we're
Yeah, there's going to be
Thank
some
you
heavy
guys so
hitters
much.
in open.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
No problem. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Where is Jake Busey going to be playing? I want to know where Austin's playing, just out of curiosity, where he's going to be hanging around.
Austin, who? Austin Couse?
We have another caller.
Blonde Austin. Can't
Yeah,
think of
that's
his last
Austin
name.
Couse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jake Busey.
Yeah. Hopefully he plays the 3, man. He likes
Oh,
to
yeah.
do those local things.
He's
Yeah,
come
he
to-
does.
He's
He's a good
been to
fellow.
a few of our events. He likes to travel. Usually get rolls
Yeah.
around with his dad, which is awesome.
Oh my God. his dad
Hello,
is
you're
so
on the air.
funny.
What's your name?
Hey there. My name is Trent. I play out of Outback.
No, I'm hanging up on you. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, man?
Hey, buddy.
I have a question for the podcast, but I was wondering about the layout sizes for the event.
Another good question.
We did
I can
actually.
take this if no one else wants
Go,
to.
go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know the answer, but go ahead.
So it's going to be the same dimensions as a regular X-ball field, but we are going to reduce the number of bunkers on the field. So we're not going to physically change the field sizes out because we already have laid out fields at all of our fields at the correct dimensions. But we are going to reduce the number of bunkers so it plays a little quicker and you don't let's just lose people off the break every time.
Cool.
Cool. All
I
right.
like that.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
Nope, that's all. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Short and sweet.
That was a
Thanks
good
for
question,
calling.
though, Trent.
Cliffy, have a question.
The one that was it.
You know, we haven't even talked about whether we're going to release layouts early or not. What do you guys?
Don't.
We could
Release
treat
them
this like a little bit of a meeting. What do you guys want to do on that? Do we give them like a week or two? Do we think
I'm
the
going to
three-man teams
vote-
are even going to like practice together?
I'm going to vote no because I don't foresee me necessarily being able to set up the layouts to practice on in advance because we're probably going to have 5-man games going on leading up to it.
So true.
So I think that we
Blind.
should do blind layouts. I'll have the layout set up Friday afternoon.
Mm.
And I guess people can start coming by just like OPL, kind of the same thing. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. So we'll like.
I have
So
no
we
input
blind
on it,
layouts.
but I agree with
the
that.
Friday before the each.
But we
event.
will, yeah, we'll have to put them on Guns Up or something so that people are able to print layouts because I don't want people
Exactly.
I mean, a blind layout is one thing, but you shouldn't have to draw your own layout on a piece of cardboard when you get
Yeah,
there.
no, don't handicap
yeah.
anybody. But the day of like, they're not MagFed players. They're already they're handicapped on their own. But I'm more talking about. I love the idea of blind layouts. I don't want someone to sit there and scope it all day and like really have it all laid out. I like not knowing until you walk in.
I got a
I
full
think
time
this
job.
is one of the
in
bigger
Tuesdays,
debates in speedball.
Huh?
I was saying I have a full-time job and 2 kids. I don't have time to sit there and study and scope out a layout.
That's fair, and that's kind of what I was getting at. So, personally, I think for the highest level of competition, like NXL, for example, I think they need to release those layouts in advance. Personally, I think even OPL should release the layouts in advance, but whatever. But for these one-off events, these more fun events, I don't think you should be obligated to practice for them necessarily. And exactly like you said, it makes the guys who are only going to play the event still competitive. Because this isn't necessarily meant to be a huge endeavor. You're not going to invest your entire season and your entire summer into playing the league. It's just going to be 3 days. You don't have to dedicate your whole life to it.
That's exactly the kind of weekend I like to go play ball. That's perfect. Go
I'm
out.
in agreement. I like
probably get thumped and then go home, and that's fun because everybody's so much fun to hang out with that you don't care. That's
got to be the mentality. Like 90% of teams are going to lose, so if you're only there to win, then most teams are not going to have a good time.
The man sees reason.
Absolutely,
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
So where did the idea for this come from? Like, what spawned the whole venture?
I would say it was the members of our club. Like, they love the 3-on-3 that we did, the street ball.
Yeah.
But every year that we've done it, we've had players saying to us, do a 3-on-3, but let us pick our teams. So with that, and then Mel wanting to collaborate with other fields to like send a message to the community, it just fit. It fit.
Paintball's dead.
For sure.
No, it is not.
Exactly.
It is not dead. Mel has spoken. You want to argue with her?
I know. I really appreciate Mel and Dan reaching out to us and saying, "Hey, this is a little idea that we had." Because honestly, I was not at least involved in the creation of any of this, so I'm happy to be a participant. But this was definitely not my doing.
Yeah, I definitely just signed up, and I'm just here for the ride.
It's good. It's good though. It's going to be good. Players are going to love this.
I think it's going to be a blast. It sounds like a ton of fun. Also, it's a 3v3 format. I think is super accessible for any field to jump on board to be a part of a series, right? You know, like you don't need to worry about how am I going to handle, getting enough paint for, 15, 20 5-man teams. Or and something like that, right? It's I think the logistics are probably a little bit easier, and then
I think the reffing is a bigger problem, but I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you have less
I didn't even think of the
refing on the
reffing.
field, right?
Yeah.
God, yeah.
You only have to watch 6 players.
I think the paint issue might have been an East Coast issue. I don't know. There seems to be lots of paint in Ontario.
We just have nowhere to store it.
That's fair.
Like,
well, I mean, it's the winter. I don't have any paint right
fields-
now either.
None of our fields have a lot of storage space.
I don't store my paint at my field. I bring it up. I keep it here in my climate-controlled garage, and I give it a rotate every 2 or 3 weeks. Flip the
Listen
box
here,
over
fancy
look at
Ontario
you.
lad.
How dare you be taking care of product and looking after your players?
I can relate. I'm saying I can relate. Like, I don't have
Saying
storage
they
up at
don't
NMA
here,
for paint either.
Paint prices are paint prices. I'm going to play paintball. I don't care if I'm going to lose. I'm going to make an ass out of myself. So the paint is the paint.
Yeah.
If I'm playing an event, the paint is probably at a reduced price because I'm not going to play like a rental weekend paying out my butthole. I'm going to play an event. So the paint's going to be probably reduced, and I know that I'm going into that. So,
So
it's an argument that I hear so much that I'm like, too bad. Pay for your paint or don't pay for your paint. But
not to steer too far away from the actual topic of tonight's show, but this just popped up in the chat here. Explore Paintball saying, I'm just sad that Saskatchewan doesn't have a bigger player base to do more events like this. So is it that there's no events because there's no player base, or is there no player base because there's no events? Ooh. Chicken and egg.
I don't know. That's a tough call.
Right?
I don't know what the field situation is like out there, but like you definitely need to have recreational facilities to get that started. If there's no one playing recreationally, then there's no one to join the tournament teams. There's no one to join the tournament teams, and there's not enough.
I'm surprised that Saskatchewan, like a province like Saskatchewan, doesn't have more. It's flat. It's not like they have to cut down a forest to put up a field. It's not like NME where they literally carved a hole in the woods and built a magnificent field and put way too much work for what.
Don't you use that sass mouth? They put in just enough work to make it as beautiful as
I was
they
going to say more work than myself and Tom deserve to
incredibly
experience.
so much work.
But
man,
yeah, I don't know. Saskatchewan's flat. It can't be that hard to put a field up. Or maybe that's the
Throw up
problem. Maybe
some
there's too much
netting
wind.
and you're done.
I don't know how many people.
I can see the player base being pretty small out there. I could understand that.
Well, you know what? We'll have to ask Alpha. We'll have to get him in here, and he can explain that to us. What the Saskatchewan game is
he's
like,
exclusively MagFit. He's going to give you a very skewed idea.
I heard an interesting stat. I was watching the Spick and Span podcast a night or two ago, and they had Tom Cole on, and he said there's 18,000 tournament players. And I think he meant just in all of paintball.
Like registered.
Yeah, that's what he might have just meant. No, he might have meant just America, but either way, that's basically all of paintball.
Yeah, exactly. And it's he said that number's pretty much been the same since about 2010.
You know what's funny? Yeah, I listened to that too, and that makes total sense to me because the NXL is doing a better job of drawing in players, like you said, but the base isn't growing.
Yeah, yeah.
The thing that I thought was interesting was that he said the conversion rate. He said that the conversion rate is 17 times better for someone who goes bowling to then join a bowling league than someone who joins paintball after they go playing paintballing. And
so I have a theory on that.
Yeah.
So, okay. If you go bowling, and okay, so the conversion rate, is he saying somebody goes and plays their first day of paintball, the first time they've ever played, and then they convert over to becoming a regular player? I think that's what he was referring
I assume that's how it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
No, to convert all the way over to becoming a tournament player, all the way down the line.
Yeah. So,
not just a regular player. He was even further than that.
So you go bowling, right? I can go down to Kingswood. We got actually got a handful of bowling alleys. You go down, you go bowling. I pick up a bowling ball, I throw it. It's great. And then I decide I want to bowl all the time. I need shoes and I need a ball. Done. Right? But
yeah, it is apples to
big
oranges.
issue I found with getting people trying to explain to people, we do this at Moncton a lot where we meet renters and they're talking about playing paintball, and some of them are getting frustrated because the rental mask is absolutely garbage. It's uncomfortable. It's probably smells terrible. As best you could clean them as much as you want, but short of dunking it in bleach, you're not going to get the smell out eventually. Mm-hmm. And it's the mask kind of sucks and the marker may not be the greatest and you don't really know what you're doing. You're kind of giving this crash course of here's a 3-minute rundown of how to play paintball. And then you go out and you play and you're like, oh, wow, okay, this kind of sucks. And then you don't really convert over. So it's just paintball's got itself such a handicap trying to get people you're just trust me, bro. If you drop $500, it's going to be way better.
It's a matter of introducing the player beyond a game like that or a birthday party. You have to show them something that you have to know your audience. You might bring a MagFed guy to the woods. You're going to bring it's a kid that's really into something fast, like gaming. Yeah, you want to show them speedball.
You know what? That's also one of the things that we wanted to kind of address with this series. That's really the motivation behind doing the young guns, right? We want to get people out there. I think we limited it to just a few teams. I think there's only 4 teams allowed, and it's free. So yeah, 4 teams. Okay. So
it's free.
Other fields.
Yeah. So no admission fee at all. Just buy the paint.
Yeah, you just show up and you buy paint and you get to play a tournament. And if you win the tournament, you get to play free paintball the next year.
My heart, man. 16-year-old me just started screaming. That's killer.
As a kid, that would get me into it.
I play paintball for free if I win this tournament. Yeah, of course I'm going to gamble that. Hope the hell I win.
Ideally, if that's if there's only 18,000 tournament players and we can add 12 just in our little circle next year, that's not that significant, but that's something, right?
Drop in the bucket's a drop in the bucket, right?
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
So
be a bucket filler, man.
Yeah, I've seen drops of water destroy the ceiling of a house. So a drop is worth something. I just think it's you know, yeah, you've definitely got your back up against the wall when you try to convert players over. It's not easy, and it's no fault of the fields either. Like, I don't expect any paintball field to go out there and drop $150, $200 on per mask and order 30 of them. You know, like, that's just unreasonable expectations.
With that being said, I mean, I used to run an indoor field, and I found that if you offer a relatively cheap mask, granted this was before COVID, so I don't know what prices are like now, but let's say it was a $30 mask and they can buy that and it's going to be better than the rental one, and then they can use it if they want to come back, and you promote that idea. I would say maybe 10 to 20% of customers were buying that, and it was significantly improving their experience and increasing the likelihood that they return.
Okay, so you were offering
Smart.
you were offering an good entry level mask for sale.
Yeah, that's correct.
Good for,
and we're promoting that idea. We're like, hey, listen, you're going to get a rental package. This is included, but if you want to spend a little extra, you could upgrade your mask and you'll own it, and then you can come back with it.
Yeah, and then if it turns out that you do it once or twice, boom, the mask is paid for itself. And if you don't want to keep playing after that,
I
okay,
like
well, you're only,
that.
It's
I
only the
like
mask.
that.
That is cool.
So
That's
anybody,
a great
feel
idea.
free to use that idea.
Oh, absolutely. Remember,
Text Josh.
steal ideas. Oh, I'll just tell him to listen to put it up on Spotify. It's on the list.
I'm an IT man.
Well, at
we
the
do
end- at the
nothing
end
but
of the
steal
day-
ideas.
At the end of the day, I'm running a tournament facility, so if nobody comes and plays rec ball, then no one will join my thing, right? So
Yeah.
get everybody involved.
Yeah,
that's a
more
great
people
idea.
is
I
more
love that.
people. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's a killer idea. That's
You know what? That's
fantastic.
probably one of the things, Marie, you probably do pretty well with that. Having a very robust rec ball facility, seeing players that get into the rec ball scene and then progress. That probably happens quite a bit out there at Outback.
Yeah, what do you see on the conversion side? What do you see on that?
From playing rec ball to going to tournaments?
Yeah.
Or
even from a
first time to
birthday
rec ball.
party.
Yeah.
So I find what helps to getting people into like the tournaments or seeing like the speedball side of things is like when we have our regulars that are out all the time and they're just playing and they're hanging out and they're having a good time. And while the renters are there in between games, they're pausing and stopping and watching. So
They see the culture
and they're just like, I want to be like that dude. I want to do that.
Regulars are your ambassadors.
I want to be
the
part of
sport.
this.
And our regulars are super awesome too, and they are really eager. So like if we put our renters onto the hyperball field and our guys that are there, they're out there with them on the field and they're coaching them on the sidelines, just getting them to play and stuff. And that hypes them up as well.
For sure.
That's awesome. That's
that
the
idea.
spirit that we are always harping on for paintball is about that we're supposed to have. That's
Now, what do you think about also, because this is something I love that I have 3 individuals who operate fields, because this is a pet peeve of mine. I see it a lot, and I don't know if it's unfounded. And if it is, please tell me it is. And if it's not, then good. I'm glad you agree with me.
Tell them to shut up. Tell them to shut up.
I always see fields when they try to market. It's not one field. It's so many fields do this, but you go and you look up paintball in my area or whatever, and you see the marketing material pop up, whether it's Facebook posts or a brochure somewhere or whatnot, right? And it's always photos of like kids in coveralls and rental masks. And it's like, cool, that looks boring. It's so drab. And it's just like, oh, all right, well, okay, me and my buddies who are looking for something to do on a Saturday afternoon don't really want to do that. So what are your thoughts on like more marketing from fields and facilities promoting the speedball side of the tournament side, where it's bright and it's fast and it looks cool and it's
I'll speak to
sports
that.
car versus sedans.
So number one thing, as someone who ran a recreational facility, simply put, birthday parties were a significantly better earner than people that wanted to come on a Friday night like yourself.
No, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
So to target that audience with your advertising budget makes sense because it's going to probably give you the best return on your investment. And then for me, thinking about it, if those kids do come when they're 10, 12 years old and they actually do have a good time because they bought their own mask, maybe they do become the Friday night player, and that ad eventually hit everyone.
This man just told Brad to shut up in the nicest way, and I love
Not
him
quite.
for it.
Not quite. No,
he actually gave a solid.
No, he's right.
Awesome
I mean,
answer.
there's still an opportunity there. I just don't know if there's enough advertising budget in paintball to hit both audiences.
No,
I don't.
You're right.
Both
I love
audiences.
the answer.
I want to hit
Beautiful.
the birthday audience by showing them the cool stuff. Have you ever seen like kids who started skateboarding didn't start skateboarding because they saw another kid strapped up with every piece of protective gear and a helmet going down a flat piece of asphalt?
Okay, that's a valid argument. I don't necessarily have an answer for that, but I guess my one thing would be is that so we did have bus ads, like literally an entire bus wrapped with our stuff. Okay.
Cool.
And I think the target audience is moms booking birthday parties because they're the ones spending money and
That's
they
true,
need to make sure that the stuff looks safe to the kids. And
brain.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Marie seems to
sure.
agree.
Okay.
It's not a
Because at the end of the day, the mom that
12-year-old
comes in
ain't got
there
no
is the
money.
one paying the bill, and she has to be happy as much as the kids already want to go out there. They already know it's sweet because they already asked their mom to go. And then when the mom looked up paintball or remembered that paintball field,
That's it.
that's where we get our conversion.
And that's not the stereotype. But again, if a dad's going to see it and bring his kid paintball, and he's going to bring his kid paintball. It doesn't matter what the ad says. But the mom, that's the one who sees it and goes, and then she sees it and she interacts with a good, clean facility and a good forward-facing representatives of the business. That makes them feel safe, and then that's what's going to get you your money. That's just the fact of advertising.
That is a huge part of it. I mean, no matter what, you can't just be like, I'm only addressing one customer.
Yeah.
But no, that's
I'm curious about it because I'm wondering, like, I know with
here,
like what
paintball summer camp. I love that idea.
Yeah, Wasaga's got a summer camp.
That is sick. Again, reading comments because I was a fat kid, and the idea of a summer camp, paintball summer camp, would have been dope. I would love that.
There was a field in Hamilton where I live, Cameron's Paintball, that used to run a summer camp. I don't believe they do it any longer. I don't know why. I don't know the logistics of that. But there are many players that played for my program that came from that summer camp, and they learned to play speedball from a guy who was on a team, and he taught them how to do it. One day they go-karting or whatever, but learning to play tournament paintball was part of their summer camp. And I think that was a huge thing for where I live, like my local community.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that was Steve Whalen. Shout out to Steve Whalen who used to run that.
I'd love to dive deeper into, because I think there's room for both. I think if you with today's world with targeted marketing, I think you could split the difference and you could target the moms and the parents with the fun and safe, while also getting the really cool looking stuff, so that the kids go running to mom saying, I want to try paintball. And then mom looks paintball up and sees the safe side of it. There must be a way to do that, because I think you'd be able to. I think it would work really well. But
if there's moms listening and going to Ontario,
I think there's definitely something to that. I just don't have the answer.
Yeah, no, it's something that's
mom, and then you gotta get her in and loving it, so she can tell the other moms, this is amazing. My kids had so much fun. You should bring them here. I like to take the moms' fields, the phones, and I'll take their phones out on the field, and I'll take pictures of all of their kids on the field for them.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
They can go home with pictures of their kids playing out on the field and videos of them. And
you know what's something? You just gave me a great
idea.
That should be something included with like birthday parties. How cool would that be? That like if you booked a field for a birthday party, not saying hire a private photographer or anything like that, just get a ref to go out with like photos or something. It doesn't need to be anything great. And then just be like here's like the private link to the photos of your kids playing. That'd be kind of
cool
dope.
idea. I like the idea. I like the idea of
it just popped in my. I don't know the logistics behind it. It's just like I'd be like, that'd be kind of dope.
The indoor field that I worked at had specifically plexiglass windows built in on the viewing side. I mean, it was an indoor field, so you could basically see the whole thing. But they had viewing windows you could take photos of, and they would squeegee them regularly. And like that's where obviously all the people would gather and watch and spectate.
I'd be shooting the hell out of those as a kid.
Not
saying it's a bad idea. I'm just knowing like if you did that and like that, I love that people could watch it. But knowing me on that field, I'd be just such a little bastard.
There was a lot of the the orientation speech. There's a lot of don't shoot the windows, and then they would still shoot the windows. They're kids. You know how it is.
Yeah.
See it as a challenge. Tell them not to do something, and that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Right. Don't
indoor
put paintballs
fields
off the ground in your marker or in your hopper.
Was a thing of my dreams as a kid. Because there's nothing like that here. Like there's no indoor fields in the Maritimes, and
no, I thought about opening
there
one.
Was there was a reball field. There was reball in Moncton for a while, but I never did that because the idea of getting shot with rubber balls seems kind of silly.
They hurt less than regular paintball. I found that the hard part about reball was that nothing likes reballs. Every
they jam
I've ever
everything.
used jams. Like, it was so bad.
Nah,
it was a great idea, and it was great that I could go play in the winter.
I want the mess. The paint and the dirt. The paint is part of the fun. I don't care about the dirt as much. Like that's part of Woods Ball. But no. It's gotta have that.
So all right. Sorry, I took us on a very long tangent there. But
I noticed that. But
with the 3v3, walk me through the entire the whole thing. So is it 1 day? It's 2 days? What are we talking? Like, give me a whole top to bottom rundown of it.
Who wants to take this one?
Yeah, nobody all at once there, folks. Like,
I read a comment on the side, so can we repeat? The comments popping up on the side are distracting me.
Oh God, please feel free to
they're 1 day. They're 1 day events.
We got some good ones.
We'll have two. We'll have the 3 brackets that run with the open, the beginner, and the young guns, all in 1 day. It'll be round robin format, so you're going to play every team one time, and then
not necessarily every team. It depends. Like if it did sell out, you wouldn't play every team. But you're going to play 8 prelim games. So if there's 10 teams in your bracket, you wouldn't play one team. I didn't want to say you're going to play every team.
No, Brett's right. But it's round robin. It's not an X-ball format or anything like that. Not race to 2 or race to 3. That's it. Just a day, a tournament in 1 day, right?
Fairly simple, cool. Yeah. Lots of playing fun.
Yeah.
So this is actually one thing that, so I know we kind of made a little decision earlier. We haven't decided on this. Like, do we want to do the beginner in the morning and the open in the afternoon, or mix them back and forth so that they all start at like 9 a.m. or whatever?
I'd mix them.
Mix them?
I'd say mix them.
I was leaning towards split them up and do an afternoon and a morning bracket.
The reason I would like to mix them is because then the beginners or the young guns can maybe see how some of the other players play. And they can maybe adjust their style to.
Okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe we don't have to make this decision right now, but maybe we could put a poll out or something and we can see
That's what I was going to say. I think we should take that to the players.
Are you saying do you want,
not that we have to let them decide, but like let's get some input, right?
Like all the inexperienced division, like they all play in the morning and then all the experienced play in the evening kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about?
In theory, yeah.
I would say, I'm not involved, but I am a mouthpiece, and I would say mix them just so that the more for the newer crowds, they can see the more experienced players play.
So maybe what I would suggest as a happy medium is you put the experienced players in the morning. If anyone from the beginners wants to come and watch, they can, but then you're not obligated to have a 10-hour day or whatever. It's 2 4 to 5 hour tournaments, and then you can either be there in the morning or the afternoon.
That does make sense.
I've been at tournaments where you're there from sun up to sundown, and it can be a long day. Like me and Dan played 10-man at World Cup, and the sun went down, and they basically canceled the tournament because it didn't really quite finish.
That was a long
we were already knocked out.
Man. That was a long day.
No one likes long days.
So that was why I was suggesting splitting them, just to keep it as 2 half days.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I like that a little bit more too. We can talk more.
Yeah. I think we will. Maybe we'll still do a vote, but I think I'm leaning towards doing that split.
Okay. Yeah, you sold me on the split.
All right, I'm glad.
Yeah, we can agree on one thing.
I don't think I won the argument on the advertising issue, so I'm glad.
Nobody will ever win that argument against me because I'm devil's advocate a little bit. I am the. Sorry, I'm gonna go back on that tangent. But I understand the concept of like fields. You need the birthdays and everything because I love money. I'm a businessman at heart, so I will absolutely do whatever it takes to make the money. But at the same time, I started playing when paintball was that wild extreme sport that could be mixed in with motocross and BMX, right? So I kind of miss those days.
I went to a 12-year-old birthday party, and I've been playing for like 33 years or 23 years. I've been playing ever since. So I feel like obviously we both are kind of catering towards what we experienced ourselves, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because my first day my first game was a birthday party, and then I went home, and then I was like, I'm gonna look all this stuff up. I was like, oh, cool, this is way cooler than what I did. Like looking at speedball events. So yeah, and that's just something that I've always kind of had bouncing around in my head. But I don't own a field, so I can't test it.
A lot of our team players, our regulars, have started out coming for birthday parties, and then they ref for us, and they work for us, and then we just draw them in, keep them around,
suck them in,
and then we feed them, and then they keep staying.
That's the kicker. That's the problem, though. Paintball players, they're like raccoons, though. You start feeding them, they'll never go away.
It's funny you say they're like raccoons. We have a group that comes down to me. We call them the coons. We call them the cabin coons because they stay in our cabin. There's about a dozen people. The coons, we feed them. They come around with food. Shout out to all the coons out there. We know who you are.
You got some nice cabins out there, though, man. You got some really nice cabins out there.
What else about the 3-on-3? Should we pricing?
Yeah, let's talk pricing
and dates. Yeah, the pricing and dates. I don't have the dates in front of me. I did,
first pricing is the early bird pricing right now. If you sign up now, then you get a bit of a discount on the pricing. So, and you don't even have to have a team fully put together yet. You can just buy your spot so you have a spot, save some money, and then find a couple other guys.
So the price for that? Go ahead, Brent.
$600 for the payment right now in advance. That's all 3 events for the entire team. So that's going to be the entire season for $600 split 3 ways. So $200 per person. If you do pay per event, it's $250 per event. So it ends up being $750 over the season. Paint, we already said $80 a case, and all of those prices are taxes inclusive. If anybody is looking to sign up, you can EMT Marie. I don't have her information, but I'm sure she could give it to us. I know we do already have at least 2, 3, 4 teams signed up. I don't know. Marie would know how many, but I know we do already have teams signing up, which is very encouraging.
We have teams signed up in beginner division and the open division right now. And there is a couple that have just signed up that don't have full rosters yet. They don't have their teams fully picked out, but they know that they're going to get a spot and they want a spot. So
and,
like I said, 3v3, you just need a couple guys. So they just need to find a couple guys.
You can roster more than 3.
Yes, you can roster more than 3 people if you want to reduce the cost.
Yeah.
We set up to 5, right?
Yeah. You still get 3 guns if you win it. We can't get 5 guns out for a team that's 5 players rostered. But you can roster up to 5.
Kind of expect a lot of teams to roster 4 people. Just, I don't know, if you only have 3 people and someone gets tired or hurt or whatever, cost, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Dan said, unfortunately, if you do have 4 people and you win, you're going to have to find a way to split those 3 guns. That's kind of beyond you.
Just get the Kijiji ad ready.
First problems, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That should be the least of your concerns, is how to split up your prize winnings.
Yeah. If that's what you're worried about as soon as you win. Oh, how do we split this? Whoever's got
and the guns. The guns are going to be good guns, guys. They're not Are
you announcing that yet? I wasn't sure if you guys were.
It's not access.
Okay, yeah, no, we did announce it. You want to go for it, Dan?
Sure. So there's going to be 6 guns total. 3 of them are going to be brand new in box 180Rs. 3 of them are going to be brand new in box DSR pluses. The winners of the open division get to pick whatever gun they want, all 3 of them. And then the winners of the beginners division get the short end of the stick. They have to pick between the 3 guns that are left over.
Darn.
Yeah.
Okay, this question's popped up. I already think I already know the answer you guys are going to say to this, but he's asked it 3 times now, so I'm going to actually ask it. And it's not related to the 3v3, but it's from Explore Paintball. This is a question for the panel. So, would you want a video out there of your field pointing out safety issues and such? So, if he went to your field and shot video and whatnot, and you were mucking about with bad safety, would you want a video of that out in public?
No.
I'm also going to say no.
I would want if anybody's in my field and they see something unsafe, first thing that I want them to do, and I'm a little bit different from the other fields because like we're a little club and everybody knows each other, but I would want them to address it with the person that's being unsafe and stop it, or come to me,
right?
like not
Yes.
film it and put it out
I
there.
feel like all three of our fields are kind of little communities, and I
Yeah,
feel like we all agree
absolutely.
with that statement. And even just for, I mean, I wouldn't want to be knowledgeable about something that someone gave me a list of 15 things they pointed out were wrong with my field, and then I didn't get them all fixed in time, and then one of those happened to be an issue. I would be negligent there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just,
exactly. Now it's
I
recorded.
mean, not that I don't want to know
documented.
about problems that I have, but I don't want them being videotaped for the whole world and then
No.
me being responsible for automatically fixing them every day. But like Dan said, I mean, if you got a problem, you should definitely tell us about it because I'm not trying to avoid fixing issues. That's not the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make.
Yes. That okay, cool. That's what I figured. So I just
Yeah, I
had
mean,
to get
valid
it out
question.
there.
Valid question.
Yeah.
Maybe the
yeah.
insurance company would be more interested in that guy doing that job, but
Just
This guy a rep? Is he an insider? This guy a rep?
no, he says I've seen lots of stuff from Ion these last few days about safety. So that's what he says in the comments.
I don't know what that's about, but I do know that America and Canada are just slightly different, and Ion has so many people. I think it would be hard to police no matter what they did.
I don't think, I feel like when an event gets as big as Ion, there's a certain level of we're only human.
Yeah,
Like we can only do so much. So if somebody's mucking about somewhere in the back corners, it's only you know what I mean? It's unless you're gonna have
it doesn't mean
a
they
ref
didn't do
for
their
every
due
player.
diligence there, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference between something happening and a field being negligent, and that's what Brett kind of brought up a second ago.
Exactly. So Cameron wants to know, are the prizes per series or for the scoring across all three events?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, that is. It's across all three. You don't have to play all three, but you do get points that accumulate after every event, and whoever has the most points at the end of the last event is the series winner, and they get the prizes. There are going to be prizes per event. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. With that being said, we are going to give away prizes per event. They will be smaller. For example, like in the custom headband range or the trophy range. But there will be small prizes at each event. And then the overall prize will be the markers and or the free entry for the season for second place. Or if you're a Young Guns player, that's your first place prize.
Cool. That's dope. I like that.
We are still looking to add a third place overall prize, but we have not confirmed that yet.
It's a
It'll
bag
happen.
filled with pods that somebody left behind.
Yeah, we'll put something together. We'll put something together.
Yeah,
it's just empty, dirty pods. Here you go.
We clean the pods.
Oh no! Don't even go.
I just heard. I was on listen to that same Spick and Span show that Gen X is going to start releasing just replacement lids for pods now.
Yeah.
So I guess you can go buy like 100 lids, and we can fix all our broken pod lids.
I love that.
Well, I mean, yes, I've seen Gen X pods like shatter, but it's always the lid. It's always the lid that cracks. Right? Like
a lot of people step on the lids and break them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My thing
is
I drop with the lid open.
Yeah. So I mean,
pods are consumables. Ultimately,
I love that they're.
really
I'm
are.
surprised it took them this long to just release the lids.
I hope
there's a team that plays at my field, Attrition, and they were 3D printing lids as replacements.
God, that's so expensive.
I don't know how it was going. I saw some of them at the field. They were using them. I don't know.
If they're working, that's
great.
I mean, if somebody's got the materials and they're just like, yeah, whatever, I'll just print lids for pods, no big deal. Like that's great. But I mean, like,
I know there's.
Damn.
I know there's some kids that work for me now, and like at their high schools and universities, they have 3D printers that they can just use for free.
That's right. That's right. Schools are.
I don't know. That's not how I grew up.
Libraries.
Yeah. Yeah.
The library has a free 3D printer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I mean, honestly, once you have the printer, like the filament that you're using, TPA or nylon or whatever it is, it's not that expensive.
It's not terribly expensive, no.
Lid's probably actually dirt cheap once you have the set.
I think the debate was whether or not it was worth the man time to replace the lids.
I mean, you know what though?
If I had the lids,
you make a party out of it. Yeah. You go, okay, boys, 6 p.m. Friday afternoon, Friday evening. You come to the house. We're gonna We're gonna have some beverages and fix lids.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Right? We actually do something. So the studio here, they're transitioning all the CDs because they have a massive vault of physical media, CDs, records, and all that. But CD cases, like the jewel cases, are thick when you have 15,000 CDs. So everything's being transitioned to sleeves. So they have sleevenings where everyone just gets together with like food and snacks and like they just sleeve CDs for 2 hours.
That's hilarious.
Right? So then you have like, you take like a stack of CDs that's like this wide. And then when you're done sleeving, you're like, whoop, you're down to this. And it's just like filing cabinets filled.
People will do a lot of things for snacks.
It's true. I will commit a war crime for chocolate. So
ultimately, how many broken pod lids can you have after an event? 5, 6?
I guess, do diligence.
Oh no, dude. I'm thinking like for my camp, 30 plus.
Okay, for a whole camp.
Still.
Yeah, for a whole camp, yes.
So 30 times 5 events is 150. I went through 300 or 400 pods this year. Not all of them broken lids, but
right, you need.
Yeah, but then you get the youngest on the team.
No, it's not just like if you think about it, that's only that's like 10 pods per person over the whole year.
Yeah.
Like I got 40 people, they each break 10 pods. That's 400 pods.
That's a lot.
So for my program, it adds up.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You got a lot of guys too, Dan. Look out for that. I don't know how you do pods. You got a lot of people over there now.
Our sponsors pay for our pods. Thank you, sponsors. We appreciate that. And you know what? We provide pods to our members, like at Enemy as well. So like we do.
Yeah, there's a chance for you to plug that.
Yeah. We've actually had a problem at our events with our club pods. We can't do club pods at our events anymore because people
take them home,
taking them home in their packs or something.
Honestly,
I always recover all my
culture.
pods. I recover all my pods at my scrimmage days, at my practices.
Tom calls it the pod economy because it's like take a penny, leave a penny. Like typically it balances out. Hopefully, I guess not in this case. You got too nice of pods, man. That's the problem. You got to buy cheaper pods.
Oh, I don't need to buy pods for a long time. I when we opened up the club, I think I bought about 2,000, just under 2,000.
Wow.
And then when I started a team, we had sponsors. That's like pods is what we spent our money on at first. That and lunches at events.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When I got to your field and I got to play there for the first time, it was pretty wild watching like garbage cans of pods just show up.
Yeah.
And they were just like, you just take a pod? Yeah, take a pod, leave a pod. Like, like it's this is wicked.
That's the only place that I know of that does that.
It works for outside of the events that we've thrown. It works. The players like it, and it's a nice little perk, right?
Yeah. That's awesome for a club, right? That's awesome. So we've got about
my field is the opposite.
5 minutes left, give or take, possibly more. This system's a little bit wonky right now. We either have 4.5 minutes or we have 7. I'm not sure which. So if you guys want to plug anything, feel free. Shout out to whoever's back. Like, we got sponsors for this event yet? Anything like that?
No, actually, I haven't really worked on that yet, but I'm going to. I do want to give a
the
shout
league
out
is designed.
Are the sponsors?
The league is designed to be self-sufficient. Technically, our fields are the sponsors because we're giving away the free entries.
Yeah.
Okay. Then plug
and shout out to Wasaga Beach.
Also,
yeah, because Donna is going to try and promote the Young Guns division specifically at Wasaga Beach because they do have a large program. I know somebody in this chat mentioned Wasaga Beach's program. They do have a large program and they have a lot of kids that come there in the summer. And if she can get a team to sign up, that would be amazing. And they can go and play at Wasaga if they win all next year.
That's wild, man. That's wild. I love that so much. I love it so much. I'd love to be able to go. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make these events. I know Tom's going to. Tom's far more mobile than I am right now, so hopefully Tom can make it out there. But if I can't,
carpool.
Even carpooling is expensive. Yeah, I'm like 14, 15 hours away. It's a long drive, and gas is $1.60.
Get Heather in there with you.
I mean, she does have to drive past me to get.
Yeah, there's a lot of people from your area that actually come out here.
Get a bus.
Oh, they're talking about that for one event. Moncton. I think Moncton wants to do a bus, so that'll be cool.
Bus would be awesome. I would love to have a bus for my
party bus.
That'd be so cool.
The hard part, we looked into it one year and we're like, what if we just like chartered a bus? Like, what if we just like hired a bus and got 30 guys onto the bus and paid for it? And then it turns out that like it was a weird thing where like the driver's only allowed to drive for like 8 hours and then they have to pull over.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so you actually only get like halfway to where you're going and then you got to spend the night. And it's like,
I chartered a bus in, I think it was like 99 or 2000. Before I moved to Canada, I was playing for Misfit Toys and we chartered a bus and we came up to play Skyball with like
That's
6
awesome.
teams that we entered into it.
But like, was that from Baltimore?
Yeah. Well,
So it might have
Misfit
been
Toys were all
like
over.
right around.
But yeah.
You're like right around 8 hours, right?
9. But yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I was gonna say when I was in high school, we used to charter a bus to go skiing in Vermont area, and all the locations would be 7 to 8.5 hours away because that's how far the driver could drive overnight to get us there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So yeah, you're restricted. You might have to drive yourselves or take 2 days.
Yeah, 13 hour. What's this? Chris Clements, Clement. 13 hours.
Shout out to Chris because Chris bought all my bunkers from SOF.
Oh, dope.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Chris
Love
is
that.
good peoples. He's a good guy.
That's wicked. That's so
what did
much.
he say? Sorry.
He just said 13 hours drive. 13-hour drive and shop time. I don't know what shop time is. Does he mean literally like stopping to like buy snacks?
Yeah, stop time maybe. Maybe it's supposed to be stop time.
Maybe stop time. Yeah, because I mean, like sometimes you get to those like weird convenience stores in the middle of nowhere, and they got some. You got to spend some time. They got weird stuff.
And the more people you have in the car, the longer your trip takes, right?
It's true. It's true. Like you pack them in, and you're like, oh, we'll just like rotate drivers. Except like everybody else, like everybody's instead of just the two of you being able to decide, like, okay, we're just gonna stop and like do a pit stop at X location. It's like everybody's got like different bodily systems, and it's just like you have to stop every 2 hours.
Cliff, you say you remember? You remember Misfit Toys coming up for Skyball?
Cliff
back
remembers
in the day?
everything. The man's a wizard.
That's wild. We came up for a few years. We did it, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row.
Nice.
2.
But that's it, folks. We're pretty much out of time. So thank you to all three of you for coming on the show and chatting. And
thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Anytime you got something you want to promote, you let me know. We'll get you on the show. We'll get you on.
I'm just glad everyone else likes to talk.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, it's awesome that, Marie, you hung out there in the background and, Dan and Brett did most of the talking, but whatever. You're there representing, right? So it's all good. It's all good. I love it.
She's used to that. This is how the meetings go with us.
Oh, okay, cool. She's just there as like, just to be there.
Small inputs.
She's here if we need to carry anything heavy.
Okay. Awesome. That's it, folks. We're out of here. So yeah, thanks again, folks, for coming on. It was a ton of fun to learn about the 3v3 Gunfighter series that you're putting together, and I genuinely hope I would love to take part in it. I just don't know if I can or not. We'll see. We'll see if we can make it happen. And for everyone who stuck around chit-chatting, liking and commenting, viewing, sharing, all that jazz, truly appreciate it. And of course, please, if you feel like you want to support, check out the Patreon. The link is in the description, as well as come join us in the Discord, where half the time I'm playing some video game terribly. So, but that's it, folks. We're out of here. So until next week, cheers.
Ciao.